In the heart of an Igbo village lies a love story that intertwines the fate of an entire community, the secrets of two powerful ancient cults. Okezie, a respected hunter, and Adanna, a beloved healer, are husband and wife who appear to be the perfect couple. But unknown to the villagers, and even to each other, Okezie belongs to the lion cult, while Adanna is a member of the crocodile cult. These secret societies have existed in bitter opposition for centuries, each worshipping the spirit of their respective totem animal. When a terrible drought threatens to destroy their village, both Okezie and Adanna must confront the demands of their cults, leading to a dramatic conflict that puts their love and loyalty to the ultimate test. In the end, they must decide whether to remain bound by the ancient traditions of their cults or to forge a new path together, risking everything to save their people. The story. In a village surrounded by the dense forests and flowing rivers of the Igbo land, the people lived in harmony with nature. The village was known for its rich traditions where stories of gods, spirits, and ancient creatures were passed down through generations. In this village lived Okezie and Adanna, a couple admired by all for their love and unity. Okezie was a tall, broad-shouldered man with the strength of a lion, and Adanna was a graceful woman whose beauty was rivaled only by her wisdom. The two were inseparable, and their bond was seen as a blessing by the gods. But beneath the surface of their happy marriage lay secrets that neither could reveal. Okezie, though he appeared to be a simple hunter, was a member of the lion cult, a secret society that worshipped the spirit of the lion. This cult was known for its fierce warriors, who were believed to possess the strength and courage of the great beast. Okezie had been initiated into the cult as a young man, sworn to protect its secrets with his life. Adanna, on the other hand, belonged to the crocodile cult, a group shrouded in mystery and revered for its connection to the spirit of the crocodile. Members of this cult were known for their wisdom, cunning, and the ability to navigate the most treacherous waters. Adanna had been chosen by the cult as a child, trained in the ways of healing and the secrets of the rivers. Like Okezie, she had kept her true identity hidden, even from her husband. The village thrived under their care, with Okezie providing for the people through his hunting and Adanna healing the sick with her knowledge of herbs. The balance of their lives was about to be shattered. The rains that had nourished the land for generations suddenly stopped, and the once fertile fields began to wither. The rivers dried up and the animals disappeared into the depths of the forest. The villagers, who had always relied on the bounty of the land, began to suffer. Hunger and thirst gripped the people, and fear spread like wildfire. The village elders, a group of wise men and women who held the knowledge of the gods, gathered to discuss the crisis. Dressed in flowing robes of deep red and adorned with beads and cowries, they were a symbol of the village's ancient tradition. Their faces were etched with concern as they spoke of the gods' displeasure. Drought, they believed, was a punishment, a sign that the village had angered the spirits of the land. The gods demand a sacrifice, declared one of the elders, his voice heavy with sorrow. Only through appeasement can we hope to bring the rains back. But what kind of sacrifice would satisfy the gods? This question hung in the air, unanswered, as the elders debated late into the night. Meanwhile, Okezie and Adanna each received a summons from their respective cults. Okezie was called to a secret meeting deep within the forest, where the members of the lion cult gathered around a roaring fire. Their faces were painted with the symbols of the lion, and their voices were filled with urgency. "The drought is a test," said the cult's leader, a man whose presence commanded respect. "The gods are testing our strength. We must prove our loyalty by offering a human sacrifice. Only the blood of the purest can satisfy the lion spirit and bring the rains." Okezie's heart sank at these words. He knew the village well, knew the people who had trusted him, who looked up to him. How could he take a life to save them? Yet his loyalty to the lion cult was unbreakable. He was torn between his duty to his people and his oath to the cult. At the same time, Adanna was called to the sacred lake, where the crocodile cult met under the cover of darkness. The air was thick with the scent of water lilies, and the sound of croaking frogs filled the night. The members of the cult, dressed in green and adorned with beads shaped like crocodile teeth, listened as their leader, a wise old woman with eyes that gleamed like the night, spoke. "The drought has dried the waters," she said, her voice like the rustling of reeds. "The crocodile spirit is angry, and we must act quickly. We must drain the sacred lake, take its last waters, and use them to revive the land. But in doing so, we will destroy the creatures that live within. This is the sacrifice the crocodile spirit demands." Adanna felt a deep pang of sorrow at the thought of draining the sacred lake, place of beauty and life. Crocodiles that lived there were considered sacred, protectors of the village's spiritual balance. Yet, like Okezie, she was bound by her loyalty to the cult. Choice before her was agonizing. For days, Okezie and Adanna carried the weight of their secrets, each preparing to fulfill their cult's demands, unaware that they were working against each other. The village continued to suffer, children crying from hunger, and the elders growing weaker with each passing day. The once vibrant community was now a shadow of itself, and the people looked to Okezie and Adanna for hope. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of red and gold, Okezie and Adanna sat together in their small hut, their faces lined with worry. They had always shared everything, but now a wall of silence had grown between them. Okezie, unable to bear the burden any longer, decided to speak. "Adanna," he began, voice low and heavy, "I have something to tell you. I have been keeping a secret from you, one that I fear may change everything." Adanna looked at him, her heart pounding. She too had been wrestling with her conscience, torn between her love for her husband and her duty to the cult. "What is it, my love?" she asked, voice trembling. Okezie took a deep breath and revealed his membership in the lion cult, the oath he had taken, and the sacrifice he was bound to perform. As he spoke, Adanna's eyes widened, her mind racing. The lion cult. How could she have been so blind? But she knew she could not judge him, for she too had her secret. When he finished, there was a long silence. Fire crackled softly, casting shadows on the walls of their hut. Finally, Adanna spoke. "Okezie," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "I too have a secret. I am a member of the crocodile cult, and I have been given a task that may destroy our village's last hope for survival." Words hung in the air like a heavy cloud. The realization that they had both been living double lives, each hiding a part of themselves from the other, was overwhelming. But as they looked into each other's eyes, they saw not anger or betrayal, but understanding. They had both been caught in the same web of tradition and duty, each trying to protect the village in their own way. "We cannot do this," Okezie said finally, his voice firm. "We cannot destroy what we love to save it. There must be another way." Adanna nodded, her heart swelling with love for the man who had always stood by her side. "Together, can find that way. We must unite the strength of the lion and the wisdom of the crocodile to save our people." The next day, Okezie and Adanna went to the elders and confessed everything. The elders, though shocked, listened carefully as the couple explained their plan. They would perform a ritual that honored both the lion and crocodile spirits, a ceremony that had never been attempted before. It was a risky move, but it was their only hope. The entire village gathered at the sacred grove, place where the ancient trees stood tall and proud. Their roots entwined with it, the air was thick with the scent of incense and the sound of drums. The villagers, dressed in their finest traditional attire, watched in silence as Okezie and Adanna stepped forward. Okezie wore his red cap and lion-hide cloak, while Adanna was adorned in a green wrapper with beads of crocodile teeth around her neck. Together, they stood before the shrine, where statues of the lion and crocodile stood side by side. The elders, holding their carved staffs, began the chant, calling upon the spirits of the land to hear their plea. Okezie raised his spear, a symbol of the lion's strength, while Adanna held a ceremonial staff, representing the crocodile's wisdom. As the drums grew louder, they performed the ritual, moving in perfect harmony, their movements a dance of power and grace. The sky above began to darken, and the first drops of rain fell. The villagers gasped in awe as the rain turned into a torrential downpour, drenching the earth and filling the rivers. The drought was over, and the village was saved. But the true miracle was the bond that had been forged between Okezie and Adanna. a bond that transcended the old enmities of their cults. They had proven that love and unity were stronger than any ancient tradition, and in doing so, they had set a new path for their people. From that day on, the lion and crocodile cults no longer stood as enemies. The village flourished, and Okezie and Adanna became legends, their story told to every new generation as a reminder that true strength lies not in division, but in the courage to stand together. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and family, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories. Thank you for watching.